Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm your host, Marquise Johnson, and welcome to Is More Than Just Dating podcast. On this podcast, we keep it real, talking about relationship advice that leads to marriage, better, healthy relationships, and just good advice that will help you have better results. I know you're probably looking at these two amazing, beautiful young ladies right here with me today. I have Amanda and I have Deanna with me today.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
What's
Today,
up? What's up?
come on now. Today we are going to be talking about, is it okay for women to approach men?
Ooh.
And I think that's like a big thing that I think a lot of women and guys been talking about that
Yeah,
really haven't got no answer to
for
that.
sure.
So that should be pretty exciting. We're also going to be touching on what does a toxic relationship looks like and how can you remove yourself from that situation. I think that a lot of women and guys, but I see a lot more women that's in toxic relationships, and I feel like A, they don't know it's toxic, and
Mm-hmm.
B, they don't know how to get out it.
Yeah.
So today I do believe that these two amazing young ladies will definitely give us amazing gems on how to get out of this. So, well, first off, I would really love for them to kind of, let you guys know who they are. Amanda, could you please tell us just a little interesting things, topic? I don't know. Give me something.
Okay. Well, I am a woman of her work. So I am a licensed massage therapist. I have a passion for holistic ways of, taking care of ailments and pain and things like that. I'm a big believer in relaxation and what it does for your body.
Mm.
And so I really believe in that. Kind of going off of like the holistic thing here, my girl Deanna and I, this is my bestie, by the way. We, for the last 11 weeks, have been working out at 4:30 in the morning, like four
Yes.
times a week. So that's kind of really sparked,
Let's go, ladies.
yeah, that's really sparked a huge like in me and like that love for like the muscles and the body and what we're capable of doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, deep tissue, Swedish, relaxation, pregnancy, reflexology. I got that.
Come on, she talking stuff I don't even know
I
about.
got that.
That's good. That's good. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for that. What about you, Deanna? I know you're a hairstylist, right?
Yes, I'm a hairstylist. I love my job. I love people. I love connecting with people, building relationships. So my job really opens the door for that, like every day.
Yeah, I love that. I can relate with you. For those that don't know, I am a barber. And so I feel like I definitely can relate exactly what Deanna is talking about with just being able to connect with people. People will be having horrible days
Mm-hmm.
and we can just brighten them up, making them look nice for big events,
Mm.
weddings,
Yeah.
things like that, like restoring hair,
Woo,
Yeah.
we just did 12 hours of that.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
putting them fingers to work.
Yeah.
You know what I think about, like, when you talk about a massage therapist, I think about back in the day with Bugs Bunny when he was on, what was that, Elmer
Elmer Fudd's
Fudd
hat,
and he
yeah. Yeah. It's like that.
yeah, so that's what I think of. So that's so funny. But so you know what? I actually got a question for y'all. I really want your opinion on this to know your thoughts. So I was reading this. Also, everybody know I was reading this out of the book called The Sacred Search.
Your favorite book.
Shout out to my boy Gary.
Yeah.
Hit me with the sponsor. That's what my boy Hunter said. All right, so he said in 1967, a study of college age women found that 76% of women say that they would marry someone if the man had every trait they were looking for, even if they didn't feel romantic love towards him. And in more recent research, 91% of women say absolutely not. They would not marry him. What is your thoughts on that research?
No.
Dang.
No,
No, I would not marry them.
you wouldn't marry them if they had all the traits
No.
that you could ever want in a husband.
No, but I'm not like the romance is missing.
Yeah.
We're not like emotionally connected.
What's the
Yeah.
difference between that and just a friend then? You know what I'm saying? The romance, that like connection, that's the difference.
Oh yeah, we getting into something
You
good.
know, like I'm just saying, like
I'm just
we can go out to dinner and hang out as friends, but if we don't have a romantic connection, then
Okay,
you know,
okay, perfect.
that's what you're here
So
for.
when I was reading it, around the 1960s is when it was still more longevity marriages, where people they were married for a very long time.
Ooh.
And so now we hitting the 2000, 2020, all of that. Now marriage is maybe lasting 5 years, 10, and you super lucky if you got to 15.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so what he was talking about is people now, more marriages are being built off the connection
Mm-hmm.
instead of actually all the traits that they would need in a husband. So now what people are most connecting with is it's that instant feeling, which is so
Mhm.
crazy because when I was reading this, I was like, what in the world? Because this is crazy. Like I was right with y'all. Like it makes sense. You want that connection. So I did a little test. I said I'm about to watch a couple rom-com movies and really see every single rom-com movie that I put on, which if y'all don't know what rom-com is, romantic comedy movie. Every rom-com movie that was on, everything was based off of feeling and a connection. It was never built off of the traits, everything that you would need in a husband, everything that you it was
Mhm.
never built off that. And I said, wow, I kind of feel like we've been actually bred to say, you know what, this person is perfect for me but I don't feel the connection, so I won't marry them. And so he even went further to talk about that you're attracted to him, but it's just that it's the one, right? That special spark that this the one. And what he said was the people that built their marriage off of that spark is the ones that don't last, but those that built it off of looking at everything like this is what I need for my life. I'm what he need in his life. We're gonna work perfectly together. And he said what happens is that actually ends up developing that romantic
Yeah.
attraction that is so unbreakable because it's built off of the foundations of who that person is and everything. It's just not built off this special moment and all of that stuff. And so I said, yo, I gotta ask some people, what's their thoughts on that. So that's what I got from it. I was like, I was right there with y'all. I'm like, yeah, I feel like I couldn't.
But you know what? I feel like why can't you have it all?
Right.
Why
That's
can't you?
what I'm
Why
thinking.
does it have to be one or the other? Like you just said, like okay, so the person, even when that like spark wasn't there, but they had X, Y, and Z that added up to be everything that that person needed and worked well with them. That eventually created that romantic spark. So the romantic spark is still there.
It's just not it is
It's
you
not the
can't see it
initial.
up front. So I mean, if you're going off the initial up front,
Yeah.
you're not gonna choose it. That's
Yeah.
what he was saying was you can get the whole package right up
Yeah.
front,
Yeah.
but it's gonna take a lot of waiting because you're not gonna always come across that whole package.
Mhm.
So he's like, you got to make this decision. Yes, it's definitely possible.
Mhm.
It happens, right, where you can meet that whole total package. You
Yeah.
got the connection, the feeling, everything else, y'all purpose and everything aligns. That happens.
Yeah.
But he said that that's not a common thing.
Mhm.
Like, it's definitely not a common thing. So what he's helping people to understand is like, yes, we do want that romantic attraction. We want all of that. But then he's letting you know what actually inside of a friendship or relationship will actually build to have that. Because you're going off of something that was never, like, when you look at a person and you like romantically attracted to them, it was nothing really built to have that.
Mhm.
Right. Like you don't even know them like that.
You don't really know them like that. So that's something that you can't count on to be sustainable.
Yeah.
But let's say it's built within a marriage, right? And just more and more you falling more in love, you deeper connection because of just the life trials and tribulations that y'all just growing together. That's building a like a attraction, like a chemistry where you just like it's built off of us. Like it's
Mhm.
not built off I looked at you like, oh my goodness, like you're the one, which I feel that like because me as a guy, there's been times I looked at a girl and I'm like, she the one. She's definitely the one. Like,
Yeah.
but then the next thing I know, I'll get to just talking to him as a friend, and I'll get to know them more, and I'm like, Keys, you was tripping, bro.
Mhm.
Like, it was just that initial connection. So I thought that was pretty deep. Anything else?
I think it comes down to like also the maturity of either party, right? Like you have to, like you said, you have to make that like conscious decision that like this is what I'm looking for. This is what I, hope to obtain in a marriage, in a relationship. So like if you go in like I have to be physically attracted or else, like that's what you're gonna find, right? So you gotta check your own heart before going for it, right? And then like
Yeah.
I think it just depends on that maturity. Like you might not be ready for that then if that's what you're looking for. But you know,
I'm glad you said that.
yeah.
I When I was reading the book, I said this. I said, "Wow, I would have never knew any of this, so I could never choose to be mature." It's like when you don't know,
You don't know.
you don't know. So you making decisions off of what you do know, and you think what you do know is right.
Yeah.
So like even like, cause you even think that you're being mature when you make that decision.
Oh man, all the times I thought I was being mature.
You feel me? Oh, I'm gonna move like
Yeah.
this. It's
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
mature, but then it's like
Mm.
when you get hit with that, it's kind of like, okay, first off, how many red flags have I overlooked? You get what I'm saying? Because that's what's gonna hit with that. You look at a
Mm.
person and you like, matter of fact, I was talking to a friend. He was telling me about a young lady that he's talking to now. And so I said, let me put this dude, Gary Book, to the test, right? So he's telling me how much he likes her, just all of this amazing stuff. And Gary talks about, like, if a person is infatuated, they'll see no red flags or no flaws.
No.
So I
Yeah.
said, hey, bro, I said, man, that's amazing. I said, man, do you see, like, any, like, red flags, any flaws? He said, no. I said, oh. I said, man, this guy's in trouble.
You would take off the goggles.
But you don't know
Yeah.
unless you know.
Yeah.
So that's why we here to
That's
let
why
people
you have
know.
to have community.
Yes,
And
community is
friends
key.
who you trust to tell
It's
you
key.
like, hey, I know you're feeling this type of way, but you got the love goggles on, and this red flag, it's bright red.
Come on now,
And I just want to make sure you see that.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right, I want to know your thoughts on this. This is definitely a really big topic that I've been hearing pretty much my whole entire life. I know I got a lot to say about it, but I know y'all definitely got a lot to say about it. So let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on women approaching man?
Absolutely not.
Not.
No.
So why is it not okay for women to approach men?
Because men are called to be leaders and are designed to be leaders. So if I want my husband to be a leader, like I'm not about to lead us into dating and then expect you to like take over from there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. It's
Yeah.
like I feel like that is a red flag.
I feel that. I like that. What about you, Amanda?
Ooh, sis.
Come on now, bring the fire.
I mean, I'm just gonna combat it a little bit, okay? I don't know. Maybe it's just I feel like closed mouths don't get fed.
Come on now, talk.
And like I've seen men that I'm like, you're clearly interested, and I understand, and I get like if I have to lead us, I like how you said it, if I have to lead us into dating, but then I expect you to lead us the rest of the way. Ooh, that kind of made me like bite my tongue a little bit, and I feel that, but I just feel like we're all human at the same time, and people are afraid, and maybe somebody could be that person for you, but they just need that little, like, it's okay to talk to me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad if my husband needs me to say, like, it's okay. You can ask me out.
Come
It's
on
okay.
now. You own listen, we got so much right here that we about to get into.
Yeah.
And that is so
Yeah, that's good.
this is about to be funny. All right, I love what both of y'all said. Absolutely. I get that perspective, right? If you called the lead, dude, you ain't showed me that you trying to start off leading, so I'm not going to be overly optimistic that you're going to be a great leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. Is approaching and pursuing the same thing?
I don't, I think approaching is the door to pursuing.
Okay.
right? Like you have to approach to get the pursuing going. And so like maybe you're scared to open that door. You know what I'm saying? But I got the key.
Come on now.
Okay, I'll open it for you.
Hey,
now
look, she
now
got the
come on
key.
in and pursue. Show me what you're working with.
Come on.
Show me what you're working with. Like it doesn't, like
Yeah.
I think they're apples and oranges, you know what I'm saying? They aren't necessarily the same thing, but they're not too far different either. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
they're still giving us good fruit.
You got me dying laughing.
Just saying,
Like she said, I got the key, but come on in. What's your thoughts, Deanna? Is approaching and pursuing the same thing?
Oh, I feel like they're similar, but I don't know. I guess like approaching, I think might be more okay
Yeah.
for women, like even in a friendship kind of way.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to be pursuing
Come on.
a man. Like I wouldn't even know how. It's like so unnatural.
Yeah.
It's not natural for women.
Propose to me. Like what?
Like,
Like,
I ain't
woman-
proposing.
Yeah.
but I'm not even asking you out. Like
Mhm.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
ask you out, but I'm gonna create the environment for
Ooh,
you to ask
come-
me out.
uh-oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I feel like that's
that
okay.
is
Be
okay.
friends,
And that's
whatever.
what I'm saying. Like I want you to feel comfortable. You know you can't get me started, Keys. I'm just saying, like I want you to feel comfortable and know that this is a safe place. You can come talk to me, and
I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at you.
communication.
Praise God. Because it's just, she's straight to the point with it. Look, y'all. Like, she not playing. So, all right, well, Deanna, so would you say that your mind has changed, that it's okay for women to approach men? But just not
Approach,
pursuing?
I guess so, but
Okay.
never pursue.
Okay, perfect. That's what I like to hear. That's
good.
awesome.
I
Set in
definitely agree with
stone.
that.
Okay, so leading up behind that, do you feel like guys nowadays are hesitant with approaching women?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so, which is why I think women feel tempted to pursue men, which they shouldn't do
Yeah, I agree.
because men aren't doing their job.
Oh, y'all about to get y'all socks knocked off what I got for y'all. This is so
Lord.
perfect. Come on. What you got for me?
Wait, what was the question?
So the question,
Rewind.
look, lost in the sauce. All she thinking about is she got the key to the door to let you in. Oh, man. The question is, do you feel like guys nowadays are hesitant on approaching women?
Yes, I do. I don't know why. I couldn't give you the answers why.
Same.
But like I said, I got the keys. Like, like I've seen I've been in situations, like if you are around somebody, like you can pick up on energy and like just vibes, right? Like when
Yeah.
and so like I've been around people where I'm like, I can clearly see you're interested.
Yeah.
Clearly see. So yeah, and then they never shoot the shot.
Yeah.
They never shoot the shot.
And you miss every shot you don't take.
Oh, come on now.
Okay.
Say it again and look at the camera when you say
You
it.
miss every shot that you don't take.
Come on, y'all.
So Kobe.
Kobe. Rest in
Okay.
peace, Kobe.
Yes.
All right, so I like that. Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think that guys are so hesitant? There's a reason, I believe. But why do you think guys are so hesitant nowadays?
I have no idea.
Perfect. That's a good answer. Like, for
I
really.
do
Yeah.
not know.
I'm just to give you something. I guess I'm gonna think like the world we live in, right? The world we live in is very much social media and
Yeah.
behind a phone, behind a computer, behind some type of like persona that you have to, people are not as comfortable being their authentic selves these days as I
Yeah.
think that they once had to be, because that was all you had.
I agree.
So when it does, like, we miss out on a lot of that social interaction, those skills to like talk to people, feel the space and see what that, is like when you're having a conversation with somebody. So I think that makes it hard especially
Yeah.
because now, not only that, it's like, oh, before I even, like really met you, I done went through all your social
Like, I already
media.
know all
I know
about
your
you.
family. Like, you're leaving like that room for conversation
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like, now what are we about to talk about? I already know everything. Now I got to sit here and fake it like I don't know what you did last week.
Okay.
You know?
See, me as a guy, I would definitely do research because that's gonna give me ammunition on what to talk about,
Oh,
right? Because I know what you're
okay.
interested in. I
plotting.
know what you do. You're gonna. So for me, like, if I can look at her social media and look at how she move, I can say, okay, all right, she like Italian food.
Okay.
I know that if I'm saying, hey, let's go grab something to eat, I'm gonna take her to an Italian spot,
Yeah.
and she gonna be like, oh my goodness, I love this. In my head, I'm like, I know.
I know.
But so, all right, have y'all ever heard of choosing signals?
No.
You ever heard? So I've never heard of this. I'm right in the same boat. I was talking to a friend. He's also a podcaster, and we were kind of like talking about this. And he brought this up. He said, "Yeah, man, it's because women don't show choosing signals." I'm like, "What's that? Is that really a term?" I actually Googled it, and it's actually a term.
Hmm.
So choosing signals is when a woman shows a man signs of interest as a trigger for the man to make the first move. Now, I think that women do not do a good job with that.
Hmm.
Like, if I was to be looking at a girl that I'm like, she looks pretty nice, you know, I like the way that she, you know, talk to people, how she interact with people, but she just seems so like, don't approach me. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not about to approach her unless like I'm just like I have to shoot this shot and I don't care if I break. But I think that to be honest, like when women open up that door, the keys. When women open up that door, right? It could just be a simple conversation.
Yeah.
You looking at this guy, you can tell like, okay, this dude likes me. Hey, how you doing? You know, how you doing today? He's like, all right, cool, perfect. I can actually have a conversation. Cause you gotta think about it. Guys be getting stiff armed by women. Like they approach women.
You should play on a football team with your stiff arm, sis.
Are you serious?
I would know it's all love. It's all love. I'm just
But
saying. Like,
I will say the
you're
stiff.
beautiful. You get approached.
But I will say this though. To an extent, that is actually what guys like. What I mean by that is don't no guy want a girl that just seem like she just trying to talk to every dude.
For sure.
So being able to have like that, like, oh, if we're actually dating, I know like she's gonna have that persona. Like even when dudes try to approach, she like, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
I'm not having it. So I would say that women don't do a good job. Women, please don't come at me because I'm trying to help y'all out.
Ooh.
I'm really trying to help y'all out. I think that y'all should start showing choosing signals. Like if it's a guy that you like or could be slightly interested in and you feel that same thing, I feel like just open the door. Welcome him in. Because I feel like pursuing, never. Approach, yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Because man is called to pursue the woman. But I believe that women can approach man.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like this. So for instance, you say, hey, I think you're cute. I'm not saying that's how you gonna start it. I don't know how to
You got
talk
a little
like
more
a
game
woman.
than that.
All right, so whatever
No, I'm
that
just
y'all
playing.
would say, of course, to
Yeah.
a guy to
Yeah.
let him know that you're interested.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all the approach, right? And from there, you just put the ball in his court and let him do what he gonna do.
That's right.
Now, is he gonna say, "Oh yeah, you know, I feel the same way. I'm thinking about, you know, let's go grab something to eat." I feel like that'll kind of get the conversation rolling a little bit, but man, you know, y'all be having guys going viral. Y'all are not y'all, but women are recording like, look, he was trying to talk. Now it's like, dang, man,
it's
if I
terrible.
approach and if I don't approach right, I'm gonna go viral and everybody cooking me. So now my approach season is over.
Right.
Like, so
Yeah.
Mm.
so what y'all think about them choosing signals? Are y'all gonna start? You know.
I exercise mine on the daily.
Ah.
No,
Big flex.
I mean, I think it's, yeah, I mean, definitely. Something to be more mindful of, you know, to make sure, but, you know, you got to be,
I mean, I feel like we do that already.
yeah,
Me and you.
we do.
Well, y'all good then. So other ladies that
Yes, ladies, you know.
talk to him.
yeah,
Come on, you know
yeah.
what? Talk
Don't
to
be
him.
scared. Don't be scared. It's okay, right? We're a safe place to land. Like, we're all humans. We're all a little nervous here and there. Like, don't be don't be so cold. Okay,
Please.
like I said, closed mouths don't get fed. You know, like if you want a husband, then you have to be open to having a husband. Like,
I mean,
it's got to start somewhere.
I don't even think it has to be that serious all the time. Like,
No.
it could just be approaching someone in a friendship or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
being around that person or like inserting yourself into their area.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to
Being
be like,
available.
hey, I like you,
Yeah.
whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of pursuing. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
But I might like be near you
Yeah.
or like looking at you or
I
something.
got you. So if a lot of women are looking at me or I keep catching them around me, that mean that it's
The
like, no,
door
I'm
is
playing.
I know now. Like,
Look,
oh,
I'm
that,
playing.
that, that might be a little subtle.
open.
Not, we gotta, you know, some of these guys need a little extra help than just a look, but it's okay.
I
We love
love
y'all
that.
too.
I love that. That is so perfect. That is so perfect. I thought that was interesting about that.
It is.
The
I have never
choosing
heard
thing.
that.
I
term
had never
before.
heard of that either. I'm
Yeah,
like,
me
but it,
neither.
you know,
But
I think it's
a
good to
it's a
make
good
it aware.
point, though, because
Yeah.
like I think that I just walk around subconsciously looking unapproachable because I do not like I am not good at rejecting people. Like
Yeah,
I
I
do
got
not
you.
like it. I hate it so much, and so like to avoid that, I'm just like literally not looking anywhere. Like I'm
Yeah.
just walking through life like not looking at people because I don't want to open the door for them.
Yeah, I feel that.
So if I'm looking at you, then I like you.
Come on now. That's good. That's good stuff. All right, so we about to change the pace. I think this will really help a lot of people. I'm hoping that it can really help a lot of women because I usually see a lot of women in this situation. So what I want us to shift to, I want to ask you this. How do you know when you're in a toxic relationship?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I
There's a
think
lot
a
of
few like key points are, you know, you don't do the things that like you love anymore. You seclude yourself from the people who love you because, like, the people who love you the most, like family, friends, they see that change, you know, and it's almost sometimes can be like, as the woman in the toxic relationship, like embarrassing. Like you might not
Totally.
it could be totally subconscious, but like you're just like, I can't bring this around my family because they hold me to a higher standard than I'm holding myself to right now in this relationship. So like if you start to notice like you're secluding yourself from like family and friends, you know, that's a key sign right there. You know, not having a sense of self, like, you know, relationships are great. Like we come together as one, but I think it's still important to do things that fulfill your own soul, your own spirit. And if you don't, you know, you're not doing things that you used to do that gave you that peace. That's a sure sign there that like something's not right, because whoever you're with should be like encouraging you to do that. Your own you know, you have a purpose together and you have a purpose separately. And you know, they should be lifting you up in that. And so
That's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
those are a
good.
couple things.
I think another really important one is communication. Like, if you're bringing concerns or your problems with your significant other, like you're trying to bring it to their attention, like how are they responding to that? Because if they're responding every single time, or even most of the time, in a crappy way, that's like somehow in the end you're like, why did I feel like that? Like they're like manipulating your emotions. That is toxic.
Yeah.
It is very toxic.
Yeah, at the end of the conversation, you feel like, dang, I started this conversation. Now I need to tell you I'm sorry. Like, I was just
Right.
trying to communicate, like, what?
You were not feeling like that for no reason.
Yeah. Don't discredit, like, what you're feeling. Because
No.
even if there needs to be some, like, communicating to, like, break that apart and be like, why am I feeling this way? And you might be tripping, and that's okay, but like
That's true.
that's okay, we're allowed to trip once in a while.
Yeah.
But like you can just tell when that, if at the end of the conversation you're like, man, like I feel worse now than I did going into it, like
I agree.
toxic.
That's toxic. Yeah.
I wanna add to that too. Like, I would say you're definitely in a toxic relationship when you And it's really touching on like how you said when you present like your feelings and stuff or something that they may have done that you just kind of didn't like. And at the end of the conversation, it seemed like you're the problem. And the first thing you think of is, yo, how could I have communicated that better? Like, I could have sworn, like,
Yeah.
and they
I
turn it
know
into
exactly
that
what you're talking
problem.
about.
Yeah, like, that's definitely toxic. If a person is not willing to work towards whatever that you present to them that could be a problem, and they're instantly, which I feel like we talked about this, a person that instantly disregards whatever that the problem that you bring to them, and they just like,
And if they're like mad that you like are bothered by what they're doing.
Yeah, and communication too is like you have to be, even if you in your like heart of hearts know like I think I'm pretty correct on this. You still have to be willing to see the other person's perspective and be like, well, why would they think this way? Like why,
Yeah.
what did I do to make them feel that way? Even if that wasn't my intention,
yeah,
and so if
Right.
if your person, your significant other, and this is more than just like romantic relationships, this is friendships, family
Yes.
relationships, every relationship. Like if they're not willing to walk a mile in your shoes and just like take a step back, humble themselves, and think like, how did they get to this? That's toxic.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So, this is another big question. I've actually asked a couple women this, and so I really want to know what your thoughts is on this. What would make a woman stay in a toxic relationship? Like what makes a woman say, I'm in it.
Okay, I think like even getting to the toxic part is like a series of events, and it starts with no boundaries. So when you don't have boundaries and you don't know like what you like, what you don't like, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, and then like by the time this thing is becoming toxic and you're realizing what you're not okay with, like you're in deep at that point.
Yeah.
Like emotionally, even with your time, like you've invested,
Yeah.
your families are all intertwined with each other. Like that is a lot. You feel like you've invested so much.
Yes.
And you just care so deeply for this person at this point. So the smarter thing to do would be to start with boundaries, know your what was the question again?
No.
You're
Hey,
on the right-
keep
yes.
flowing
Okay.
because you
Okay.
touching on like
Okay.
you.
So know your
Yes.
boundaries, know why they are your boundaries, and stick to your boundaries. Because if you stick to your boundaries, you are not going to allow it can't get there if you don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you don't skip over your boundaries.
And I think like
You got it.
yeah, I think coming up with your boundaries and figuring out like what your boundaries are ultimately roots into knowing your worth, like
Yes.
who you are, like not accepting poor behavior like that. And I'm Christian, and I will say I was in a toxic relationship for a long time, most of my young adult life, and it took like being at that point where it was like rock bottom. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. That's
Yeah.
how I found God. That's how I found Christ.
That's good.
Was that and ever since then, like God has just been showing me like this is who you are. You're my daughter. This is your worth. This is what I call you. This is your name. And it changed like what you're willing to accept. Like for anyone else to call me, like you can't call me anything different because his word is over it all.
Yeah.
So like your worth, like you can get into a toxic relationship if you don't know how precious and valuable and beautiful you are in every season, in every situation.
Wow.
You can just start accepting things that are
That's
less
a
than.
bar.
That's a
Yeah,
bar.
totally. I feel like I kind of got like some clarity on relationships the same way. When I was like getting out of a toxic relationship, my boss, she's like my boss and my friend and my mom, and she's awesome. And she always like she would never like when I was getting out of it, I was kind of like in a season of like back and forth and like I was unsure and like am I doing the right thing? And she would never like condemn me for anything that I was doing, but she would just like so simple ask me like, okay, well, do you think that that's God's best for you? And I didn't even know what that even meant at the time, but I started imagining like, what is God's best for me? And the more I started to like learn about that and think about that, and she'll say that to me in any situation in life.
She's so good.
She's so good. And so now it's just like a thought to me, and even outside of dating.
Yeah.
Like, is this God's best for me? So in dating, I'm like, absolutely not. That is not God's best for me at all. So that, yeah, like knowing your worth and knowing what you're worth
Yeah.
changes the game.
I agree with y'all so much. One of the things that I think about, right? I think about how God calls us his masterpiece. And I remember of course, I've been in a toxic relationship. And, when I was in it, I was learning my worth, right? So, of course, getting into it, I didn't have this standard, what I was not accepting. I didn't have healthy boundaries. I didn't even understand. I was never taught about boundaries. So it wasn't like I'm going into this relationship like I'm putting boundaries, like I know my worth. I know my value. I definitely didn't go into it like that. But the more that I started to know my worth, right? Because what most people would usually hear, they'll hear that the woman is the catch, right? They be like, oh, the girl is the catch. And I used to always just keep hearing that, the girl is the catch, the girl is the catch. And I got to a place I understood, like, my value. And I said, no, I'm the catch, too.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, wow. And then I started thinking about a first place trophy. I'm like, it's only one person that deserved that first place trophy because of the value of it. No one just gets, oh, you participated, good job. No, you could get a participation trophy, but you're not going to get the first place trophy. And I started to just really like say, wow. And it was nothing towards that person, but I said, wow. I said, I don't want to give this person this trophy. I feel like someone else like would deserve this trophy. And from there, I'm just agreeing with understanding and knowing your value and your identity, which is only found in God. I absolutely believe that because I really feel like you could be delusional telling yourself how much you're worth because you really don't know. It's just you saying, you know what, I'm worth this. And you could be undershooting it or you could be overshooting it. It could be, it could be either or. So that's the tricky thing about you determining your own worth. What you feel like your value. Like, it's like, what else? Like, there's nothing to really measure and say, okay, yeah, that's true. It's just you like, yeah, I got $1 million in the bank. And you go look at the bank, you got like $2. Like, but I got $1 million in it. Like, you don't, bro. You got $2. Well, y'all really touched on like so much that it was good. I want to ask y'all this because obviously y'all have grown and y'all learned a lot. Can you please tell just some ladies what are some healthy boundaries that they can put into place that outside of, we know that knowing your worth, knowing your value is the first thing. But now what are also when they get into, and let's not even just say relationships, they're talking, they're becoming friends and things like that. What are some healthy boundaries that people should set, women should set so they don't even get into that place of a toxic relationship?
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, just having boundaries in the first place is so necessary. Like, I did not have that on my way into a toxic relationship. So, but yeah, I think just knowing like what you're okay with, even in the way they talk to you or like the way that they interact with other people, like those are all places where you can find red flags. Yeah. And do not ever ignore the red flags. You can't do it because they start small with like maybe it was just a little something, but like you're going to see that same red flag in something big later. So anyways, don't ignore the red flags.
Can you look in the camera and say that one more time?
Yes. Don't ignore the red flags.
People.
You are not.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You won't.
Just like save yourself the trouble.
Yeah. But that's like you know, kind of like what you said, and we've talked about this before in conversation, and I know that this had been mentioned once in the podcast here in previous episodes, but like, ooh, how it grows. It started off as a serpent, and then
Oh
it was a
yeah.
fire breathing dragon. Like, what are you feeding? So like, you have to know, like, in knowing your worth, you know, that takes time, that takes soul searching, that takes prayer, and so you know, like your weak points. You know where you need God to strengthen you. So like a boundary would be, you know, like I know I struggle with lust, and lust is a toxic trait of a toxic relationship. So I'm not going like music that you listen to, you know, like that. That's
Yes.
a huge thing. Like I'm not gonna go out on a date with a guy and we're listening to, you know,
Pretty
Trey
Ricky.
songs.
Trey Songz.
Yeah.
Definitely not Trey
We're not
Songz.
listening to Trey songs. Like
oh.
we're gonna put the worship music on in the car. Okay, you're gonna pick me up. We're gonna worship the whole way
You
there.
got no hope with Trey
And-
Songz.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And like nothing good happens after 10 o'clock at night. Like
Yeah.
you know, that's a boundary for dating. And I think you'd be surprised at how much more respect you
Yeah.
get from the person that you're dating when you keep those boundaries. And that, I don't know about you guys, but that fuels me. I'm like, yes, we are like doing this right.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, like that, let that excite you. Don't let your excitement come from like, you know, everywhere else, like
Yes.
the places of, you know, like lust or being sneaky or like doing something wild, or, you know, like let your excitement be like, man, we are really just
Yeah.
honoring each other, honoring God. And, you know, so things like that are good boundaries. You know, you can't come to my house. Sorry, I got, you know.
Come on,
It's
talk
just,
to him.
It's just me and my cats.
Come on now.
You know, Deanna once in a while.
Yeah.
But you know, things like that.
That's
I
good.
think you just have to know where you're weak and set those boundaries accordingly.
Thank you so much, because to be honest, as a guy now, you know, I was probably one of those, not probably, I was that horrible guy once upon a time that probably was the starter of the toxic relationships. But definitely God has done a new thing, so I can see things from a different perspective. And now when I'm looking at stuff, one of the biggest things that I hate to see is seeing women being in a toxic relationship and being used and not even knowing it. And so, ladies, please take all of this advice very seriously, because it ends in heartbreak. It ends into so much time invested, and now you walk away with nothing but scars and pain and bad memories, and it's just a horrible thing. And so I don't want to see it. I don't want to see y'all go through it. So thank y'all so much, y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all are amazing. Praise God for y'all. Come on now.
Hey sis.
So, Deanna, so you're a hairstylist. My question is, what is the name of the salon that you work at?
I work at Salon Kristen. It's in Macomb. Yeah, at 22 in Romeo Plank.
Perfect. So, all right. So, if a lady was looking to possibly get in with you, like what would she have to do to try to book with you? Because you always come in looking nice, clean, hair always done, got the highlights. See, I know about highlights, guys. Do you got highlights in right?
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, just a little
He's like,
bit.
I know. Do you?
I'm just making sure you
Yeah,
don't got
yeah,
no
yeah.
highlights.
No,
right? Yeah.
no, you're
Come
right,
on now.
you're
I
right.
know a little
Oh,
something,
that's
something.
right.
Yeah. Hey, it would have been messed up. You like, no, I don't got any highlights. I'm like, cut that. Say, no, I'm playing. But yeah, so, you know, how could they even follow you on Instagram
Yeah,
or?
yeah. So you could follow me on Instagram at Deanna_Kello. And yeah, you could just like message me through there.
Perfect. That's how they can kind of set an appointment.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love your color. Like when you're doing coloring and you
Thank
post it.
you.
She's the color queen.
Thank
Goodness
Like,
you.
gracious.
I've never gotten my hair colored by her and not liked it. Not
Aw.
loved it. I'll say that because, yeah.
Yeah, you be putting some women together.
Thank
Yeah.
For
you.
sure.
Color queen.
That's
Come
so
on now.
sweet.
Praise
Thanks.
God. Miss Amanda, aka Magical Hands.
Ooh, spirit fingers.
Spirit figures. So first off, how can people connect with you on social media?
Yeah, I mean, social media, like, I'm gonna be the first one to say, like, I'm not the greatest at social media, but if you want to talk, I'm always down to talk. I'm always down to, like, encourage and give a word because been through some things. So Instagram, my Instagram is Manda, Manda Graham 109. That's the birthday. 30 coming real soon. Yeah, so you can real soon. So you can find me there. And then that's my Insta. But as far as like professionally massage,
Yeah, the massage. Yeah. So how can they book an appointment with you?
So I work for a chiropractor, Holistically Well in Birmingham, and the doctor there is phenomenal. I've been working with her for years, and I've really seen some great changes there. So I got a pretty busy schedule there, though. You know, I'm pretty booked out. Got some regulars. So if you can't get in with me there, I do sometimes travel, you know, to your home and things like that. So it's always up for discussion.
You know, that's pretty dope. So
Yeah.
guys that are married, if y'all watching this or anybody that's married is watching this, I think it'll be awesome where they can be able to book you for a couple session.
Yeah.
Right? That'll probably be
I
awesome.
actually have one. Some friends from the church coming on Saturday, a husband and a wife. So I mean, you know,
Yeah,
look,
that's dope.
it'll make happy wife, happy life. Okay, and you know, like I know you men are out here working hard, providing. So I'll give you the elbow too.
I give you the elbow too.
Yeah.
That is so funny. That's funny. So thank you so much. Y'all have been nothing but amazing, definitely today. And so many gems, so much knowledge. I know it's blessed me. I know you blessed a lot of women today. So that's been really good. So everybody, once again, if you guys are listening, it's an easy way to connect with us on IG also at It's More Than Just Dating. We are blowing up. We are taking things to a whole nother level. So we would love to connect with y'all on there. Also, if you have any questions, which actually a couple of things that we touched on today was actually some things that people sent in too. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We hope that you got the answers that you needed.
Yeah.
I believe that you did because I got them. So you can connect with us on IG at It's More Than Just Dating. Also, if you want to listen to us on Apple or Spotify podcasts, also Google Podcasts, you can also find us at It's More Than Just Dating. And then we are also on YouTube at It's More Than Just Dating. And so today has been good. Thank you so much. I can't wait to bring y'all back on here.
I know. I'm ready for round two.
Round
What you got
two.
for us? Ding,
Oh,
ding, ding.
You know what I'm going straight to. I'm gonna ask y'all. Have y'all been choosing signals? Like, have y'all been using that?
Use your choose.
Use that choose. You know, hopefully when we bring y'all on here next time, y'all got y'all fiance or
boo
something
thing.
like that,
Yeah.
or boo thing.
No.
You know,
Something.
something right now. So, but thank you once again.
This has been fun. Thank you for having me.
Y'all
thank
enjoyed
you.
it?
Man,
Yeah.
this is cool.
Come on now.
This is cool
was good.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, this is Marquise Johnson with It's More Than Just Dating. Peace.